wanted to let you know what a monthly payment for a nationwide house is, as well as Silicon Valley. How is the market affecting us? And tied into it, the bonus at the end is going to be this year, what are the trends showing for the best time to sell? I actually have a chart showing and predicting the best week to sell this year is. Let's get into it. So first, what I wanted to do was talk about how the market is trending nationwide, along with how things are going for Silicon Valley and how we differ. As you know, Silicon Valley is more expensive, but how does it change as the market shifts, stock market as well as housing market? Those two tend to go together. So let's talk about that first. Season of 2025, the US housing market is showing signs of cautious optimism. I made a video not long ago showing that there's a lot of signs of spring getting hot, and it's not only that, but it also seems like it may extend a little more this year. In February, pending home sales nationwide increased by 2%. It was surpassing expectations. However, when compared to the previous year, transactions were still down 3.6%. High mortgage rates have elevated. Home prices continue to pose challenges for potential buyers, with the average monthly mortgage payment nationwide is $2,800. When you compare that to Silicon Valley, in Silicon Valley, the market remains highly competitive. The median sales price for Silicon Valley for Santa Clara County specifically is $1,960,000 with an average sale price, and that's the listing price, average sales price of $2,417,000. So if you take that is going to be similar interest rate with the same 20% down. That monthly payment is $12,000 a month. That is a pretty big difference. Now, specifically in San Jose, the average sales price in San Jose in February 2025 was $1,876,000. And so you can see that Silicon Valley is not just San Jose, but there are the surrounding cities of San Jose for Silicon Valley that make up Silicon Valley. So with Silicon Valley, homes are spending an average of 15 days on the market. So our inventory is still very low from that perspective. And the sale list price ratio stands at an impressive 107%, meaning that we put the house on the market and we're typically getting 107% over top of that. Now, that does not mean that any seller just asks for whatever price they want. That's not how it works. It's going to go as an average, as you can probably assume, right? And that does indicate strong demand and a limited inventory. Our inventory is growing slightly. At the same time, we're also going into a spring market. So our inventory is higher. It's much higher than it was last year this time. But we are getting closer to interest rates dropping. So as soon as this stock market, if the stock market starts to behave, we're definitely going to see a strong drive. And there's no question about that at all. We tend to really be driven by the stock market here since we have so many tech buyers in the Silicon Valley and San Jose. So for the deal of the week, what I wanted to do was really let you know about what does make sense, right? So if you are interested in this property that I described, please message me directly or just make a comment and I'll send you the information for it. Now, one of the things that you might imagine when we have a hot market in Silicon Valley, again, we do have a different type of market, and there's certainly specific areas where we have a different market. Palo Alto is certainly going to be one of those areas. And this house specifically has actually been on the market for a little while. Now, one of the reasons that I bring this house up, and I bring it up as a deal of the week, is because since it's been on the market for a little bit of time, it's been on the market for 30 days. So since this house has been on the market for 30 days, it does mean that there is almost instant equity built into it because of the way the house is priced and because it is a fixer-upper. So many times when I do this, looking at the fixer-upper, in Palo Alto, it's the heart of Palo Alto, and it's one of those houses and it's one of those areas that people of Silicon Valley want to be. Palo Alto is really one of the cities that everything circles and buzzes around. So this home is an 8,000 square foot lot, and that's a really good sized lot. And this home, it is a fixer-upper, and you would have to add on to it a little bit. However, with the price point that it's at, you actually have a ton of equity already built into it before you even start swinging the first hammer. Let's take a look as far as the comparables are in the area of this home. So when I'm looking at a home like this and I'm looking at the comparables for it, this is a fixer-upper. And so what we want to do is we want to take a look at the structure to start with. We know that we're going to have to do work on the structure. So it can either be a scrape, meaning that we have to rebuild the entire home, or leave the existing structure and add on to it. And there's different creative ways to do that. It makes it easier for when you develop the home and when you make it bigger. So what I'm specifically looking at right now is how big is the lot? The lot is an 8,000 square foot lot. That's a good sized lot. There is another house that's actually just 600 square feet larger, and that is pending. The asking price was 3.2. And still another house that is 1,000 feet larger. So this one that's pending is 7,500 square feet. And the one that I'm looking at is 8,000 square foot lot. That's a good sized lot. And it's actually larger than the one that's pending, which is great. And you're talking about only 600 square feet difference in the house and the structure itself. And then the other house that I would look at, which is not far away, you want to stay within a certain criteria as far as distance goes. And that one is 1,000 feet larger as far as the house goes. And it is actually 6,800 square foot lot. So this house has got a ton of upside potential. You have to be willing to swing a hammer, so to speak, and do some heavy remodeling on it and add on to it. When you're looking at this, you're looking at a sale price. It's currently sitting at $2,250,000. So if you're interested in something like that, please let me know. Now, what I wanted to also let you know as far as the bonus goes. So this year, if you want to sell your home and you haven't actually started the process yet, it's time to start moving fast. And the reason for it is that you're going to get top dollar this year based on the way things look currently between April 13th and 19th. That's expected to be the best time to list your home this year. So if you have thought about listing, if you are not sure and maybe you want to wait for next year or wait for later on in the season, either way, it's your house, you do what you want. But reach out to me, let me know. If you have another trusted realtor, reach out to them and start having the conversation with them. I'm always here and happy to help. But April 13th to 19th, and then that house in Palo Alto is the deal of the week. And the housing market for Silicon Valley is still doing great and pumping along, and we're headed into a hot season. If you're thinking about buying, time to start taking a look to see if that makes sense for you. If you're thinking about selling, time to start prepping the home. Hope you do well. Talk to you soon.